This is your bossy. You're
trying to
bossy.
interrupt me when I'm
Those are the things I've been talking about,
You're
Kobe,
trying to
because you always
interrupt me
bossy,
when I'm
bossy.
talking. Okay, I'm done talking.
Whoa, things between Emily and Kobe's friends are heating up big time. There's only so much that Emily can take before she bites back. But with Kobe's friends seemingly determined to stir the pot and cause trouble, what's this fallout with his friends gonna mean for Emily and Kobe?
I feel like, I'm caught in the middle between my wife and my best friends as well.
Now, before we dive into Kobe's friends' latest attempts to cause trouble, let's rewind to the start. So, the last we saw the pair at Kobe's handball match, Kobe's pals were telling Emily what they thought of her. They weren't impressed by how Emily came to check in on her husband after he got injured. And to make matters worse, they blindsided her with the bombshell that Kobe had another girlfriend when he and Emily first began dating.
What I found out was that when you met me in China, that you were still dating your girlfriend in Cameroon.
That really isn't a nice thing for Emily to have just found out. I don't know how Kobe's gonna try and wiggle his way out of this mess. Like, are his friends just trying to test Emily with this? Are they trying to throw her off guard? Or has Kobe really been dishonest for all this time? I mean, Kobe's friends have been meddling so much in their relationship since they landed in Cameroon that Kobe is taken aback by where this is coming from. Who told you that? He asks.
I mean, I don't know where this is all coming from.
It's coming from Valerie. That's where it's coming. It's coming from your friend.
It's bull because...
So now he's lying?
Yeah, those friends of yours, Kobe, that's where this has come from. Perhaps you might like to ask, what kind of friends pull these kind of stunts? Can't Kobe see the havoc that they're wreaking on his marriage? Can't he see the seeds of doubt his friends are trying to plant in him and Emily? Honestly, what was their goal by bringing up Kobe's ex? Especially when Emily was only trying to build bridges. It just makes no sense.
The very first time you got to meet my friend, you start talking about my ex.
I did not ask about your ex-girlfriend. Valerie brought her up.
Kobe refuses to believe that his friend would do that to him. He immediately defaults to thinking that it's Emily that's causing trouble. Why are you asking my friends about my ex? He asks her. But what Kobe doesn't realise is his friends are pulling the strings here. This wasn't Emily's fault, and it's sad that Kobe can't see through Valerie's sneaky tactics. He doesn't believe that Valerie's capable of this kind of behaviour.
Valerie that I know of cannot just get up and start talking about my...
So maybe you don't
There is
know
no
him that
way.
well.
I mean, do you believe Valerie or you believe me?
I think there's a huge sense of foreshadowing in that question, isn't there? It's getting to the point where sooner rather than later, Kobe is gonna have to pick a side. He will have to choose between Valerie or Emily. And the fact is, from what we've seen so far, Kobe really does seem to have misjudged Valerie. But getting back to the matter at hand, what really was the truth about this ex? How can Emily find out for sure if Kobe's been lying to her? Well, she has a suggestion.
You still talk to her now?
I talk to her once in a while. Like often.
So let's just call her up, and then we'll just get to the bottom of the story.
I don't know where the hell you're going with this, but...
I'm going with the truth. That's where I'm going with it.
No, Emily, no, that is a terrible idea. Like, look, you and Kobe are married with 3 kids. He lives in a totally different country now. There's really no threat from this ex anymore. Let sleeping dogs lie. Now, thankfully, Emily does see sense. She concedes that Kobe's past, and her past for that matter, have no business in the present day. But, and quite rightly, her issue that she's willing to put on pause for now isn't so much the ex or the history, but whether Kobe's been lying to her for all this time. Now, sensing that she's not going to get to the bottom of this right away, Emily's attention then turns to Kobe's friends. If they don't believe in us, she says to Kobe, I don't want them at our Cameroonian wedding.
I don't want someone at the wedding who doesn't want you to be married to me.
I mean, I'm sorry if there's just no way I will get married in Africa, in Cameroon, and then my friends are not there.
I mean, you can see Emily's point of view here, right? Weddings are all about celebrating love. Who wants guests in attendance who are predicting doom and gloom, who don't believe they're gonna last? But at the same time, she does also need to remember that this is a Cameroonian wedding. She had her day in America. This is for Kobe's friends and family. Of course, Kobe's gonna want his best friends at his wedding. He refuses to cave in to Emily's demands, and in fact, the very fact that she's asked that of him makes Kobe sympathise more with how his friends see Emily.
The fact that she doesn't want my friend to come to the wedding.
This is just another way of Emily trying to have a way and control everything. But I'm putting my foot down.
It's my country, my rules, and my friends will come to our wedding, end of, he says. Now look, while it's easy to understand Kobe's position, and yeah, Emily is definitely controlling, on this occasion I have some sympathy for her. His friends are troublemakers, he just doesn't see it yet. So he would really benefit from shifting that criticism away from his wife and shining the spotlight on his friends instead. Now, on that topic of friends, when we join Kobe and Emily the next day, they're off to an amusement park to meet up with an old mutual friend that Kobe used to live with when they were all in China together.
So today, we're meeting a mutual friend at an amusement park, and while I'm really excited to get together, it's a little awkward between Kobe and I because of last night.
Now, while there is still some lingering tension from the discussion last night, both Emily and Kobe are determined to have fun today for the sake of their kids. Everyone's in good spirits, and Emily's just glad to have someone she knows, a friendly face, that isn't seemingly out to ruin her marriage.
I have to admit, I am happy to have someone in Cameroon that I know and I'm able to talk to, especially after what's been going on with Kobe and his friends and I.
Emily's delighted to be reconnecting with baby Val, particularly given her absence of friends lately. This is her opportunity to have a heart-to-heart with not just a Cameroonian, but also a female. Someone who understands the culture and the role that a wife is supposed to play. So hopefully Emily can gain some valuable insight into all the recent drama with Kobe's friends.
It's been a really good trip. Okay. But some things have been a little rocky. Kobe told me that his friends had some concerns with our relationship.
Look, I've actually been impressed with how Emily's been handling things lately. She's really showing a level of maturity that last time she was on our screens seemed totally absent. Describing the situation as a little rocky is definitely downplaying it. It's admirable to see her so level-headed about it all. She's not, for example, going on a full-blown rant about how terrible Kobe's friends are, how they seem to hate all American women.
They've heard a lot of stories about African men who marry American women, and then it doesn't work out in the long run because of the cultural differences.
Now, Emily wants specifics. What specifically are these cultural issues that seem to derail so many marriages? I mean, keep in mind, on the surface at least, up until this point, cultural differences don't really seem to have been a problem in their marriage. They're both happy, they're married, they have kids, they're in love. So why don't his friends see any of that? Why don't they like me? She asks.
Emily, you're always buzzing. You're always being like that. I want this, I want that, I want this.
I know.
When Kobe has to listen to you, if he doesn't listen to you, you get angry.
Wow, okay, baby Val isn't holding back. I wonder if that's a trait of all Vals in Cameroon. Now, we all know that Emily can be bossy, but hearing this from someone who genuinely cares about them both, someone who isn't here just to stir up drama, is probably good for Emily. This is just honest, impartial advice. So, given that Emily seems to be a little bit more mature lately, hopefully this advice will hit home for her.
Okay, so I could ease up a little bit.
Our culture here is very, very different from yours, and sometimes you should try to listen to Kobe.
Finally, Emily is starting to have some self-awareness. She concedes that maybe sometimes she is a bit too much. And while I do still think that Kobe's friends have been unfair to her, it's encouraging to see Emily taking this advice to heart. She's starting to think about things from Kobe's perspective.
I always thought Kobe accepted me for who I am, but maybe this trip is really showing to me how he really feels. Val is making a point, and maybe I do need to loosen up a little bit for our marriage.
Look, say whatever you want about Emily, but one thing is abundantly clear. She is dedicated to trying her best. She wants to make this work. She wants to learn about his culture. She wants to try and fit in. And that is testament to the love that she has for Kobe. So baby Val leaves her with some parting words of advice.
I think you should try to get closer to his friends. Most of them don't know you that much.
Right.
Just spend some time with them. They should know you better.
She's really hit the nail on the head there, hasn't she? Kobe's friends haven't bothered to give Emily a fair shot at all. They've clearly jumped to conclusions without meeting her, without knowing her at all. But now it's over to Emily. It's for Emily to show them who she really is. Not some preconceived ideas about a white woman, but rather the reality, the real Emily.
All in all, I really just want them to get to know me and realize how much I love Kobe and he loves me. Two cultures can blend. We can mix and we can get along and we can be happy forever.
The pressure's on. There's definitely no denying that. But Emily isn't backing down. She's set on showing Kobe's friends that true love knows no cultural bounds. That she and Kobe are in this for the long haul. So Emily takes charge. She's treating Kobe and his buddies to a night out, a night clubbing.
Kobe and Emily, I'm so surprised.
Why?
After what happened during the handball match, you supposed to invite us out.
Call me old-fashioned, but for someone who talks so much about respect, surely a much better way to start this evening would be to thank Emily for putting this night on, for footing the bill for all of them. Here's Emily stepping up and trying to take the high ground, trying to mend fences, and already he starts off being sassy with her. She hasn't done anything wrong. She's just trying to let loose and have a good time. What do they expect from her?
What we expect from African women, from women in particular, you prepare food, you welcome us to come in.
Oh my God, when are they going to give up on this traditional wife agenda? All she's trying to do is organise something fun and enjoyable. But what does she get in return? She gets a snide comment about getting back in the kitchen.
Mostly when a wife and a husband want to invite us, they invite us in the house. They'll come and get a dinner, come and eat.
But I don't have a house
I'm surprised that you people are bringing us in the nightclub.
Kobe's friends really are always creating drama. Emily is fighting a losing battle. The truth is, they're never going to accept her for who she is. They seem determined. They somehow think it's their job to teach her how to be a traditional Cameroonian wife.
I want Emily to understand our ways so that she can function in our style in Africa, so that Kobe can be proud to say he has a better wife.
Kobe's been crystal clear about his love for Emily. He loves her for who she is, American and all. But his friends don't seem to have got that memo. They clearly have their own agenda. Now, perhaps their agenda comes from a misguided, warped view that somehow they're helping Kobe. Maybe they think they're somehow doing him a favour. But, frankly, they're stepping way out of line. They have no right to insist anything of another man's wife. And all it's doing is putting their friend in an awkward position.
I didn't marry a Cameroonian lady. I got married to an American lady. I feel like, I'm caught in the middle between my wife and my best friends as well.
Now, for as much as I feel bad for Kobe being caught in the middle like this, there does come a point where he needs to man up and put his foot down. Surely he can see by now that Emily's the only one trying to bridge the gap. She's the one putting in the effort only for his friends to constantly shoot her down. Emily didn't know that inviting them to a nightclub wasn't something a Cameroonian wife would do. So if his friends were gonna get offended by it, why didn't Kobe step in and tell her?
Here in Africa, a woman is being graded how she invites people, not in a bar, not in a nightclub.
Sadly, I think Kobe really has dropped the ball here. If his friend's comments are true, then he should have given Emily a heads up. It's unfair to subject her to this without warning, especially if his friends are going to be grading her and grading her badly for this. Look, his friends keep sizing her up against this African wife standard. But why can't they realise she's not African? They really need to give it a rest.
I know I am married to Kobe, who's a Cameroonian man, but I'm also an American woman. And if we were in America, I would cook you food and I would invite you to my house.
The expectations being placed on Emily are impossibly high. She's on vacation in another country. If she were at home, yeah, she'd host them, she'd make them dinner. But she's in a hotel. What the f*** do they expect from her? I'm really glad to see Emily standing up for herself. But even that's a problem.
Emily's really speaking up for herself, and which is really typical something from an American woman. But that's not what my friend sees every day.
Nope, sorry Kobe, but that should have been something that you did on behalf of your wife. You should have stood up for her. You threw her in the firing line without any warning that this was somehow culturally inappropriate, and then you've just left her to fend for herself. Kobe shouldn't be allowing his friends to talk to his wife like this. He needs to step in and set them straight. Can't he see that they're the ones being inappropriate? It's actually quite worrying that his friends yield so much power over him.
You hurt my feelings. I'm talking 1 minute. You hurt my feelings.
Listen, you're bossy. Those are the things I've been talking about, Kobe, because you're always bossy.
I'm done talking.
Poor Emily. Despite her genuine efforts to do something kind and well-intentioned, all she's received in return is criticism from Kobe's supposed friends. They've been really harsh on Emily, and it's wild seeing the lengths they'll go to push their agenda. It's becoming very clear that Kobe's gonna have to pick a side. He's not gonna be able to stay in the middle, stay neutral for much longer. I just hope he'll be able to stand up to his friends.